Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys watched the previous video, and if nahi, please go watch it. It makes me feel good, and even if you don't, I have to keep continuing this, so I am going to make another video. So today's video is, how do humans feel empathy? So throughout the animal kingdom, if you see, right, humans are competitive. Sorry, not just humans, all the animals. We are competitive, we are selfish, and we are resourceful because the resources are limited, and you need to make best for yourself, right? You need to make sure that you are fed and you survive and your kin is surviving, and hence we're all very selfish and we tend to put our self-interests first. So essay, and when your brain is live wired or hardwired to deliberately put yourself first, where does this concept of empathy come from? Because it is so perverse, right? You see it in every human being. Why does the thought of a baby getting injected make the mother cry? There is no physical pain happening to the mother. Why does this happen? And why do you win? So why do you cry when you watch movies that are sad and melancholic? And why do you smile when you see someone happy? So where is this coming from? Where is this ability to sense somebody else's emotion or put somebody else at par with you or above you come from in the human brain? So in this video, we're going to dissect how biologically and evolutionarily this concept of empathy makes sense. Okay, so before we begin, when I started researching this topic, I did my research and I wrote an entire answer and I wrote an entire script. However, I felt that I could use some more some backing for this. Nevertheless, it just went on. But recently I came across this book called The Brain by Dr. David Eagleman, and I didn't expect to find this answer so unexpectedly in this, and it was spot on. It supported everything that I had written in my answer. So I would just like to say that yes, this answer is going to be a very verified answer, and it is going to have some scientific backing to it. So do not just take it because I told it. You can, but it's always better coming from a person who has a doctorate in neuroscience. Okay, coming back to my answer, human beings have, or again, all primates have this tendency to copy somebody or to emulate your fellow human beings. Okay, this is called the theory of simulation. And why do we do this? Because we have these mirror neurons in our brain which simulate or copy or emulate anything the person ahead of us does. Okay, so you might have heard that story of the monkey dropping the cap when a person tries to get the monkey off the tree branches. You might have heard back when we were in school. So this is exactly what we do. We try to emulate, and the answer goes back to mirror neurons in our brain. So when you see someone cry or when you see someone smile, you tend to smile too, right? Your facial expressions tend to match your fellow person's facial expressions. Okay. See, this is why this is also one reason why, and I got this answer from this book, that people over time, like siblings, so okay, they have genetic share, they have genetic material which is common, but people in long-term relationships, like couples, they tend to look similar after a couple of years, or after a long period of being together. This is because they emulate each other's faces and expressions so much that to a point that their face and their muscles and their wrinkles are tuned to that expression, and they kind of look alike, and hence the more the couple is together, the similar they look, right? So this was so fascinating for me to hear that this is the reason. Like, so again, why do we have these mirror neurons, and why do we tend to simulate our fellow human beings' expressions and their state of mind? Well, one reason is because so that you get to know what the other person is thinking, and you get to navigate that situation if it is an unknown situation. Like, see, we're all meant to survive in the wild without any help, right? So when you go out and if you encounter an unknown situation, the best way to navigate it is seeing somebody else, how they are navigating it. If they have a facial expression that shows something, we make that facial expression, and whatever comes with that, whatever thought or feeling comes with that, helps us think, okay, this is what the person is feeling, and okay, this is how I should navigate this situation. Okay, so that is one theory. Okay, now coming back to the second question, that how did humans develop this? Like, what is the evolutionary reason for this? Well, the primary reason is to tend to offspring. See, human babies, when they're born, they're highly dependent on their caretakers. They can't do anything for a good 12 months, right? For everything, for mobility, for food, for just to survive. They do require an entire community behind them, and for that, and in this situation, humans developed this ability to sense their offspring's needs so that they could survive and they could, propagate their species. And that is one reason why women tend to have more empathy than men do, because it was typically the female caregivers who were closer to children and who used to tend to the needs of their offspring, and hence the second reason is again social bonding. We all know, we've been learning this from time immemorial, that human beings are highly social creatures, and again this book also evidences is that human beings cannot do without social interaction. Our brain needs social interaction, and if that were to survive, if we needed to continue in groups and form social bonds, there had to be some mechanism for us to put the other person at par with us. We could not afford to put self-interest always in front, and hence we developed this ability to feel what the other person is feeling, so that there was some sort of bond created between you and your fellow being. Coming to the last part of this video, are some people more empathetic than others are? Okay, like we discussed previously in this video, that empathy was designed to sense your offspring's need, and hence naturally women are wired to have more empathy than men are. But again, this could depend, not just this, people having empathy could depend on multiple factors, like your intelligence, your environment, whether you were exposed to a very harsh environment when you were growing up, so that you needed to sense somebody else's emotions to keep yourself safe. So yes, empathy, majorly the gender has a role in determining the level of empathy, your intelligence, your environment, and yes, we can say that some people do have more empathy than others do. One gender does have more empathy than the other gender does. And yeah, I hope this video answers this question. I've always found it very fascinating how at all can a species so competitive and so selfish have something so naturally wired inside them. And this was the answer, and I was so happy to find out the answer, and it was verified by this. And I hope that you found this answer a little informative, and yeah, please follow or subscribe to my channel. I would be answering questions on evolutionary biology and the brain, how your brain functions. I know this is very fascinating. This is a fascinating subject. It is completely out of my study area. I'm a lawyer, but yeah, this is just so interesting to me. So consider subscribing my channel if you find such questions intriguing, and goodbye.